Oh, hi everyone. It's Therese here with IELTS English Gurus, and today we're talking about the listening part of IELTS Section 2. A lot of my students have been asking for a video on Section 2, especially when describing a map. So that's what we'll be looking at today and covering a very good technique that will help you to do well and to save you time during the exam. So let's get started. Quick reminder that there are 4 parts to the listening exam. Section 1, you have 2 speakers, usually a social situation. Section 2 is a general topic and it's often a map and only one person speaking in that audio. In Section 3, you have 4 people speaking and they could be sharing information about an academic topic. And then in Section 4, it is a lecture, usually a more academic topic, and usually this is the most difficult listening that people experience. However, today we'll be just looking at Section 2. In the video, I'll speak about what we can expect in a MAPS question. I'll cover some of the lexical resource, the language that is very useful to remember and to hear out for. I'll cover the strategy and we'll do an example together. So basically in the exam, you will see a map and then you will hear one main speaker and you will be asked to label different parts of the map. Of course, you won't have the transcript, so you'll just hear the monologue and then you'll have to label as you go along. You know, you'll see the map on the left side, something maybe a little bit more elaborate than what is in front of you. And then on the right side, you'll see some missing words. So it's pretty obvious what you have to do. You just have to write in the word or possibly a letter, depending on the map, into the blanks. So in this case, you have to complete A, B, and C. So if we look at this particular map, you can guess that it looks like some kind of a museum, a public museum. And we can see that you have an entrance, you have modern art on the right, you have the Middle Ages on the left, and then prehistoric art at the top right. And then A, B, and C are spaces that are not filled. So you need to listen out for those spaces in relation to the other places in the map, like modern art or the Middle Ages. So some of the good language that you can use when listening about maps is a language for direction. So for example, to go straight, to turn left, take a right, opposite, beside. Maybe other words like behind, above, below. So all of these prepositions of place and position are useful to remember. So language for direction often comes up in these types of questions. So it's good to know expressions like in the north or to the north, to the south, to the west, to the southwest, northeast, to the east, to the southeast. So these are expressions that often you may hear in a MAPS audio. So as you listen, at the very beginning of the audio, generally the speaker should tell you where he or she is at that point. So at the very beginning of this listening, it's important that you identify exactly where the speaker is so that you can start at that point. And then you can follow the directions as you listen. So in this case, for example, the entrance is right at the bottom there. So perhaps the speaker is at the entrance. So from there, you will go forward. So the technique that we use for the MAPS question is number 1, read the instructions and study them very carefully. You might need to put a word into the missing blank, or you might need to put a letter or a number. So make sure you understand what they want you to do. The next thing is to examine the map, analyze it, and try to understand the features in the maps. Are they spaces? Are they houses? Are they buildings? Are they parks? So try to understand what's missing so that you can listen out for the words that represent those features. And then finally, try to understand the position and the location of those spaces in relation to the other spaces that you know. So what is beside the Middle Ages, or what is behind another space or in front of? So now we're going to listen to the audio, and as you listen, try to identify the names, the words that represent A, B, and C. Hello, and welcome to the Allenville Museum of Art. We are now standing at the entrance of the museum. Please look at the map to identify where exactly we are. As we enter the building on the left, we arrive in the Impressionist Art Museum, where you can view the works of Monet, Manet, and other great artists of this era. Just beside the Impressionist department is the Room of Modern Art, an exploration into abstract and pop art masterpieces. Just north of the Modern Art department and to the right of the Middle Ages department is the Renaissance department. Here you can view the works of Michelangelo and other great abstract artists. Let's keep going north into the prehistoric section, where we will discover ancient jewelry and weapons that date back to 2000 BC. West or left of this area is the last room, the African Artifacts Department, where you can view the designs, sculptures, and paintings of southern Africa. Okay, so how did you get on? Were you able to catch the names of A, B, and C? A was Impressionist art, B was the Renaissance, and then C was African artifacts. So during the computer-based test, it will look something like this, where you're kind of dragging in the words into the correct answers, or if it's paper-based, writing in the letter that may represent the words that you're given. So it all depends on the instructions that you're given in the map. To recap, everyone, when you have a map question, make sure that you carefully read the instructions. Find out if you need to put a word or a letter or a number in, because if you don't follow those instructions, you'll lose marks. Secondly, analyze the map and try to understand what the features represent. Try to understand how the missing features relate to the other spaces in that map. Consider the language for directions and movement. And another thing is, remember that the information may not be relayed in a consecutive manner. So you might get the information at the beginning or at the end or at the middle. So thank you for watching, everyone. Good luck in IELTS listening. See you in our next video. Bye.